2.
Okay. And yeah, this is no.
You're gonna count it in this time
no, we
again?
can't. It might not be number 2. It could be out of order, right? So we don't know.
This might be number 2.
It could be number 2. You might be watching this the second.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. We're DB Photographics. That's Dave.
This is Brad.
I'd like to have another chat with you all.
Everyone sit down. We got a real serious discussion with you for a second.
This is important.
Yeah.
What do we want to talk about?
Well, first, just thanks for coming and showing up again. We got some really awesome response kind of off our first video, which is neat. And it's encouraging. These are a lot of fun to do. So I think we'll do more of these. We'll keep going. We're gonna keep going.
I agree. I like to do this.
Awesome. So I thought for today, kind of you and I were having a discussion a couple days ago about the idea of expectations, and I thought that was we're pretty passionate in terms of the way that we kind of deliver things and the actual kind of level of service that we give, and really kind of working with our clients. So we thought this might be kind of a neat conversation to have, both from kind of a client perspective and a photography perspective of you're having a photo shoot.
Right.
What should happen?
And this came about because we often get people who have examples of their relative who lives in Ontario or somewhere else, and it's been a year and they haven't got their photos yet. Is that normal? And I guess we could start there with the expectation you should be setting as a photographer or as a client.
Yeah.
How long till we get our photos?
It's a thing that comes up a lot, and especially kind of as you were just describing in those situations where it feels longer than it should. And anytime I think someone asks us that question, our answer is always, well, what did you agree to?
What's in the contract?
Yeah. What was the expectation kind of set when you sat down initially and kind of met? First and foremost, did you sit down and meet? Because that's also probably a really important thing to do, is have a conversation and try, and especially for something as big as a wedding, meet face to face before and really kind of get a good sense of each other. But ultimately, when it comes down to how long does it take me to get my photos, it boils down to what you agreed to. Anything outside of that is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the number one thing, is put it in the contract or make sure it's in there. How long till we get our photos?
Yeah.
Another thing that people sometimes ask is like, how many hours will you be there on our wedding day, or on a portrait shoot, for example, something like that. And what's the answer?
Again, same thing. How long did you agree to? What's in that kind of deal? And from both, I think this is where kind of our philosophy comes in. There's some flexibility. There can be a little bit of flexibility. We want to work. Nothing is worse than someone just bailing in the last minute. A photographer bailing in the minute when there's an event that's got to happen. But if that's really important to you as a customer, make sure that you kind of that you set that out again initially. And
again, you're right. That's what we've decided, is that we're very flexible with that.
Yeah.
That's why there actually isn't an hourly in our wedding contract. It's until the last event is done, basically until you kick us out.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean every photographer does that. So it's important to read that fine print. What is in there? Is it 10 hours of photography? And what does that mean when it's 9 o'clock on your wedding night and now 10 hours is hit? Do they walk away, or how is that handled?
Yeah.
Again, whatever's in your agreement should be spelled out, and that's why meeting with your photographer is very important.
So getting those expectations, and if there are things that are special, we always talk about. We worked a wedding at New Year's once, and it's tough to leave. It's a New Year's wedding. It's tough to leave before the clock strikes midnight.
Although I turn into a pumpkin.
That's
so
true.
That was
that's
weird,
true. But yeah, so on that front, like clearly that's an important moment for that specific event. The expectation was clear, like we'll be there, and it wasn't even. I don't even think we were even really asked in that sense.
I think we told them.
We told them, like, we're not leaving until that point. It's not like we have anything else to do at that point.
We don't have a portrait session booked at 11 p.m.
It's at 12:30. It's at 12:30. We have at 12:30 on January 1st.
We got to get there.
That's when we had to be there. Yeah.
But that's decided ahead of time. So that very, very key. The other thing that very important, and people find out the hard way, what isn't covered in the price that we've been quoted. That's come up a lot of times. You'll see price X for the photo session or the wedding. Seems like a great price.
Right.
Happy wedding day, great photos. You see on the back of the camera, the photographer's done great. And then the charging for photos comes.
Right.
And that's, again, where do you find that out?
So what you mean is in terms of like they actually charge to get the photos, or you have to choose a certain quantity or that
prints,
kind of thing.
they give print, like you can buy prints, but it's all spelled out in the
Contract. Right? That's important things. I think kind of again coming from our kind of personal philosophy, our kind of perspective on how many photos you get. We always our answer is always all the good ones. It's really important. There's nothing that hasn't for us in terms of our work and the pride that we take in what we do. Everything has been touched. It's gone through processing. It's been edited and cleaned up and aligned and corrected in any kind of way that it can, because that's important to us. There are any photo that kind of a customer or client gets from us is a fully done professional photo. And a lot of times, again, we don't, for our in terms of, you get all the good ones, it exactly works to that. You end up getting everything that it was, as long as it was in focus, and it wasn't the seventh version of the same photo that we took, it's yours.
You get the best of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that works out to, like, in a family portrait session could be, 20 to 50.
Yeah.
And a wedding could be 500-600 photos,
Yeah.
depending, and they're all the good ones. And I want to stress that as well. That's not, and like you said, fully edited. That's not the case for every photographer.
No, that's true.
Some give you the basically like the negative, just the unedited photos. If you're
and we'll only edit a few of them,
right.
only a selection that they'll edit, and you'll get kind of everything.
And if you're a photographer or a photo editor and love Photoshop and Lightroom, then excellent.
Yeah.
But that, again, is spelled out in the contract.
Yeah, and again, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that procedure. It's just you have to kind of know what you're getting into and what you're looking for, and get a good understanding of is there a separation between the actual, the price for the shoot and the price for getting the photos as well. Yeah, so it's something definitely worth keeping an eye out for.
Yeah. So that's really what we wanted to talk about with expectations. Bottom line, ask questions, meet with your photographer, find out the answers to those questions, and you won't be surprised in the end. And any good photographer will have no problem answering those questions. So
yeah, they should be ready to go for those kind of things.
What were you saying about small print?
Well, if there's small print on a contract, that also should probably be a sign. We are very much about being open and transparent, that you know what you get. We don't want there to be any surprises. Again, why when we talk about kind of the price for our different packages, it's the one price. We are people who don't like surprises. We'd rather just know right up front what this is going to be and then deliver on that.
Yeah.
And it's really, really important for us to deliver on that. And so that's also where kind of in that kind of level of customer service, when in terms of like we talked about how long do you get the photos. For us, we set a ballpark of anywhere between kind of 4 to 6 weeks. Or depending on how busy we are, but we really hope to hit that, and we tend to kind of lean towards the 4 side.
Yeah.
That's the challenge we set for ourselves, but we give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room in that sense in case we've got a lot on our plate.
Right. So that's it for now. If there are questions that you have about like expectations, leave comments at the bottom, and we'd love to answer them for you.
Come back next week for our next video, which will be on to be determined.
Yes, we'll figure it out. So thanks for watching,
Thanks,
and
guys.
we'll see you again.
Bye. Thanks so much for watching this video.
I know we just said goodbye, but we thought we'd just remind you that we are on the social medias.
Yeah, look out for DB Photographics anywhere where the internet is.
Yes.
And if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you click subscribe here.
Right on
Here.
this.
In this
button somewhere right.
Put it out of my face.
I don't know.
In this box.
I don't know. It's
We're gonna
probably
hate
not
this
here.
later.
Yeah.